Hello boys and girls, and welcome to our Social Studies lesson series. My name is Anne Harvey and I will be your guide once more throughout this wonderful journey called learning. In today's lesson, we'll be looking at performance tasks exercises. As you may know, performance task is a learning activity designed to help you, the students, to demonstrate your knowledge, your understanding, and proficiency through a variety of methods that serves as evidence of learning. There are, of course, a number of skills to help you in mastering the performance task given. Such skills are telling the differences between fact and opinions, using context clues, understanding charts and graphs, finding evidence to support statements, identifying main ideas and supporting details, writing letters, writing reports, and paragraphs. In today's performance task activity, we will look at the topic Caribbean culture and utilize the skill finding evidence to support statements. Let's begin. In our learning outcome, we will read 3 sources, write important points from each of the sources, then answer questions to state whether the information is supported or not. In this task, we will begin by reading 3 sources on Caribbean culture. Source 1 is an article about music and dance. The other article is on language, and the third is a table showing various religious groups in the Caribbean. Now, let's take a look at these sources. In source 1, we will read, sometimes you want to get up and dance. Music compels your body to move. Think of salsa, mambo, reggae, and calypso. They're all a part of Caribbean dance, which involves vibrant music and moves. Have you heard music from places like Cuba, Trinidad, Jamaica, or the Dominican Republic? These Caribbean islands have strong cultures of music and dance. Caribbean dance evolved from complex influences, including slavery and colonization. Enslaved Africans brought to the islands to work on vast plantations carried their customs and drumming traditions with them. Using available materials, they crafted instruments and kept elements of their cultures alive, while the English, French, and Spanish colonists came with their music and dance customs. Over time, customs blended and became new music and dance. Regardless of the style, there is a particular pattern in historical development. Afro-Caribbean people maintain and build on dance custom throughout time. Although initially looked down by those in the upper class, who regarded these expressiveness and body moves as salacious and vulgar, the styles persisted and they evolved. They grew in popularity first in the local neighborhood and then found their ways to broader appeal. All right, that was source 1. Source 2, we will look at languages of the Caribbean. The languages of the Caribbean reflect the region's diverse history and culture. There are 6 official languages spoken in the Caribbean. The 6 languages are Spanish, which is the official language of Cuba and Dominican Republic, French, which is the official language of Guadeloupe, Haiti, and Martinique, English, Dutch, and Haitian and Papiamento, a Portuguese and Spanish-based Creole. Source 3 will look at religions practiced in the Caribbean. Now, this is a table showing the various religions, their total number, and their percentage. We have Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, and of course others. Now that we have read all three sources, it is now time to write the important points from the sources. Now, from source 1, what was the main or important point for you? You could write, a mixture of culture brought a mixture of music and dance, like salsa, calypso, and reggae. And from source 2, what could you write? Each colonial country brought their own official language, and so over the time, each country that was colonized had the language of their colonial rulers as the official language. And from source 3, what would be the main point for you? You could write that Christianity ranks the highest among the other religions in the Caribbean. Okay, boys and girls, now that we have written our main points, we will now move to the next section of the performance task, where we will answer some questions. Now, these will be a set of 3 statements. After reading each statement carefully, we will be asked to indicate with a check or a tick whether the statement has supported the sources we have just read or it doesn't support the source at all. And we can always skim and scan to ensure it is so. So let's take a look at the following statements. Statement number 1 says, English and Spanish are the only languages spoken in the Caribbean. Do we recall reading that? So we need to look at our options here. Does source 1 support this statement? Is it source 2? Or is it both? Sources 1 and sources 2 support this? Or neither source 1 nor source 2 support this? So we have to think about this, boys and girls. Your answer? That's right. Neither source support this statement, because we have read that though there are other languages that are spoken other than the English and the Spanish. And it had been mentioned that there are languages such as French and Dutch. So of course what we're going to do, we will indicate our answer with a tick. All right, now, it seems as if we're doing great so far. So let's move on now to the next statement. It says, the names of music and dance varies in the Caribbean. Does source 1 support this statement? Is it source 2? Or both 1 and 2 support this? Or neither source 1 nor 2 supports this? Let's think. Your answer? That is right. Source 2 doesn't support this statement. We indicate the answer by drawing a tick in the box. And the last statement we will look at, that reads, various ethnic groups influenced the Caribbean's dance, music, and language. Does source 1 support this? Is it source 2? Do both source 1 and 2 support this? Or is it neither source 1 nor 2 supports this? Your answer? That's right. Sources 1 and 2 do support this statement. And of course, we will indicate our answer with ticks inside the box. And now, the last question we have is this. Using the details from the source 3, identify the top 3 religions in the Caribbean. And so as we look through the table, it will give us the information. It is Christianity, other, that's not mentioned, and Hinduism makes up the top 3 religious groups in the Caribbean. All right, great job now, boys and girls. We are doing great so far, and I know that you guys are sure winners. Now, to round it all off, we come to this section where we are now ready to write a report on Caribbean culture. We have sharpened our skills based on the information gathered. From the sources, we have written the important points. We have also indicated whether the statements that were given were supported or not. Plus, what your teacher has already taught you on the subject. And so we will put all these things together and we will write a report. And our report will be looking at aspects of Caribbean culture. That is, the dance, music, and language. Now, it is time for you to write your report. Remember now, when writing any report, remember the writing process of plan, draft, edit, and write. And of course, if you remember to follow the rules of capital usage, punctuations, and spelling, I think you'll do great. Now, best of luck on completing this task, and we will be so excited to hear your report in the next lesson, because I know it's going to be great. So, let's review what we have learned. We do realize that the performance task can be fun and it can be exciting. You, using your knowledge, your critical thinking skills to complete given task is nothing at all to worry about. You would have read at least 3 sources and then write the main points from each source just to keep that information fresh in your mind. Then of course, you answered questions to say whether or not the statement match what you have read. Then now, reviewing your important points and the sources, you then plan, you draft, you edit, and you write your report. And then voila, you would have written the most beautiful report ever and received good marks. Yes, boys and girls, I believe in you. So, start practicing, boys and girls. Get your friends on Zoom, but of course ask your parents for permission. And start your performance task practicing, call it 101 sessions, and you will be happy you did. Okay, boys and girls, so we have come to the end of another exciting lesson in our series. I thank you so much for your participation, and we do hope that you have learned something or you were able to revise what your teacher has already taught you. Alrighty then, until next time we see each other, please do remember to be safe. Wear your masks, wash your hands. Walk the good now until next time.